Man, what it do? This is Tay Daimyo Firewater. Uh, Shit. Fucking lungs are hurting. Fucking mucus I've been spitting up and puking up. I'm sick. Sat there yesterday, went to work, got fucked over. They told me, oh, you guys come in at 6, right? Pick up your ticket, we'll get you some. Then come to find out, fucking, I'm working in the same place I was working at the day before. I was like, okay. I was like, I didn't mind doing that. I was like, when I first got there at Express, so there's this dude they went ahead and they tasked me with, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, they're like, well, you two, what do you call it, I was like, oh, I'm sitting there talking. Next thing you know, dude pulls me aside and is like, well, go talk to Carlos, right? And I'm like, okay, who's Carlos? Oh, he's going onto the truck. I see this guy getting ready to walk on there, and I walk up there, and kind of a young dude, and I was like, excuse me, sir, are you Carlos? And dude got all pissed, and I was like, well, the dude said you were just getting on the truck. I said, and he pointed over that way. I asked him what truck, and he never explained to me what truck. I was like, guy has a fucking problem with explaining, and then next thing you know, the dude's over there telling those guys where to put shit at and stuff, and I'm like, okay, well, must be this dude's deal, you know what I mean? I didn't really think anything of it. And guy literally had me and this white boy walking around for like, I don't know how fucking long, man. And this is like the first day I'm there, right? I think it must have been like an hour or so. Told us, go find 6 of the 4-wheeled push carts. He's like, they don't have no handles, anything like that. He goes, you just put stuff on top of them, push them around. Me and dude found like 4 of them. And we kept on looking around for the other ones. And dude's like, oh, just keep on looking. And everybody else all loading and unloading shit, and I'm like, oh, this feels kind of weird. You know what I mean? The next thing you know, they go ahead and, he fucking, what do you call it, man? He goes, oh, well, this guy's from Labor Works with you. And I'm like, well, I thought this dude, because I was talking to him, it's like, I thought he was like, worked here, I was like, I didn't know we were just temps. I was like, why? Okay, and then, they threw me in with these one guys, Theo dude, and we went and we did the thing there. And I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. Went fixed up houses, everything like that. I was like, this is fucking awesome. I was like, I actually like this. Next thing you know, fucking, next time I go in, second day, they're like, oh, yeah. I get told to do shit, and I'm like, okay. And I'm like sitting there, doing the stuff and shit, and, this is like a few days later. Like, I'm talking like fucking a few days later. This is like a few days ago. Shit didn't seem like, it was much. Dudes are sitting there talking, and guys kind of like, yeah, man. Just saying shit, talking shit about natives and shit like that. I'm like, dude, I can understand you, man. I was like, my brother, his name is Jose. He's half Mexican. I don't remember where his dad was from or some shit like that, but I do know that. It's like, no, I understand it, man. Your guys' shit, isn't the same, but a lot of it is like similar words that you guys use. It's kind of like America. Fucking what do you call it? Kind of like in a lot of places. There's different dialects, different ways people speak. You know what I mean? And I'm like, well, I understand a little bit what you're saying. You're talking shit about some woman, who what do you call it? An old boy telling you, well, don't judge a dude like that. This and that, and I'm like, and the guy kind of looks at me and kind of gives me like a mean look, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, And then dude goes, well, ask him what he needs done. I go over there, sir, what do you need done? He goes, go work with Carlos. I'm like, okay. So I go over there and ask him, well, what do you need done, sir? And he's like, well, I need this. I was getting everything he wanted and shit like that. It was working out pretty well. The next thing you know, like, it kept on like, oh, no, we're not taking him out on the thing there and stuff. Oh, we can sit at the warehouse and shit. And I'm like, sitting there like, okay. And next thing you know, I started getting double standard, triple standard. I'm like, you know what? And then I started seeing how this dude was acting and shit, and they're making like funny comments and shit like that, being all polite about it. I didn't think nothing of it till like yesterday. Yesterday is what fucking broke and pissed me off, and I literally about fucking just walked off the job. So I'm sitting there, I get there, I'm like fucking like, almost told. Like I get there fucking like at like 4 or 5 minutes before the goddamn thing even starts. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa, I was told, oh, you're not gonna work there, and it was after the second day, and I'm like, okay, I'll get up at 6, to get some extra sleep, I'll do this and that, I'll get all this shit done, right? No, they send me down there. I have to go down there. It's like fucking 5:15, whatever. I have to fucking get dressed, drive all the way down to Labor Works, grab my fucking ticket, drive all the way to dude's fucking warehouse. And that shit, going there, it took me almost, what do you call it, 17, 20 minutes. Fucking lights were getting all, what do you call it? I don't really want to jump on the freeway and shit. It's crazy on the freeway in the morning and in the afternoon. Freeway is a fucking crazy place. But anyways, I get there. I'm like, okay, and, yesterday they were talking about this deaf dude, like bragging him up. I was like, oh, that's cool, I was like, that's awesome, I was like, good for the guy. Next thing you know, like yesterday they were like kind of clowning on him and shit, and no offense, I don't know sign language or anything like that. I talked to old boy, but he was just like doing his own things. I was just laughing and shit. I was like, damn, dude, you're crazy. You know what I mean? I was like, I like this guy. He's funny. And he's actually being nice. And the older gentleman, Mr. Carlos, he was nice. And this other dude, Corey, tall dude, and well, like I said, first day I was there. They told me, oh, you got to use the ladder, or one of these things sure to go, get stuff up top, So the dude tells me, can you grab the ladder, the stair jack, you just got to step on the thing there, it lifts up, pull it back. And I'm like, okay. I was like, well, it's not a lift. So I'm like, okay, you just manually pull this thing. But the thing is that there's a bunch of dressers in the way. And, I didn't want to bust any of the things. So it took me a little bit to get there. I get there. I remember Miss Filano telling me, oh, yeah, these furniture we rent out to people. You will not use it, and like he told me and what dude that was there, you will not use it to stand up and grab items off of there. And then I hear him tell that dude, oh, just pull one of those chairs down and stand up and grab it from the third shelf. And I went, the first day he explained to me, oh yeah, there's these TVs. Or second day he explained to me about the TVs, right? Oh, you plug the HDMI 1 in, you go ahead and make sure the power cord's plugged in and turn it on with the remote. There's no batteries, well, find some batteries, or, come see me and I'll give you some batteries. Simple, right? He's like, get the TVs with remotes with batteries, make sure they work, turn it on. Had to fucking tape a hocus pocus. He's like, when you hear the audio, you see the video, it's good. Put it back inside of the box. Put the remote in, put the TV back inside of the box. We'll load it and, get it ready for, shipping. I'm like, okay. I can do that. He explained all of it to me the first day I was there. And then when he told me to go fix the TVs, well, he told me to, what do you call it? He's like, well, there's missing remotes right there. And anything else you need, and I'm like, okay, sir. I was like, I kind of know where the cleaning supplies are because, you guys never told me, and, well, they're directly fucking behind me. I'm not the smartest person, looking around at shit, so then I started looking around the warehouse like, oh, noticing the codes, noticing all the like items together and shit, and I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing, we're minimizing space and shit. Never told what the fuck, what do you call it, then, oh, we're just moving furniture, and what do you call it? Dude was telling me to put dressers down, and the way he was explaining it, it was fucking confusing me. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't think the same way as you, dog. You said left, and when I went to the truck, it's on the fucking right. What are you, what sort of shit are you on? You know what I mean? I'm like, you're not even speaking to me. You're looking the same direction as me, and you're saying left, and I'm going onto the right fucking. I have to go onto the right truck. I'm like, listen, man, I think, you're like my woman, dude, you're getting mixed up, dog. And then I started seeing him, like, undermine his own guys and shit, and I'm like, holy fuck, dude. I'm like, sir, I'm like, you know what, sir? I didn't even salute the guys. It's like, sir, what do you need done? Sir, what do you need done? Pretty soon I was just getting mad. I was like, I was like, I really don't want to be here. I was like, dude, it's making me feel uncomfortable as shit. Because like he'd go ahead and talk to me, and then he would go ahead and get a phone call, and I understand, he has to coordinate between his teammates and stuff, coordinate with his team out there moving, the people who went in are putting in the orders, placing the orders, the people who are going in making sure that these guys are doing their things, and making sure that the warehouse is up to date and getting shit ready. Well, I asked him, because it was like the first day I didn't get a break. Second day I worked there, didn't get a break. Third day, I got one break, and that was in the afternoon after I'd asked if I could go outside and smoke a cigarette. I was like, what the fuck? And then yesterday I got two breaks. One in the morning at 10, right? At 11, right before 11, it was 10:59. I asked Mr. Lionel, I was like, well, sir, I said, I heard him go tell that lady, what? They ordered a 2-bedroom house and it's only a 1-bedroom apartment? And I'm like, oh shit, this is gonna be a long, long talk. I was trying to save him face, man. I was like, sir, could I take another break and just go out and smoke half a cigarette or a cigarette while you get this thing in order? Because it doesn't sound like it's going to be done anytime soon. Oh, no. Wouldn't you rather save that half a break for a couple hours from now? And I'm like, well, I don't even take a fucking lunch. I'm like, and then I stood there for a half hour. Pretty much I could take a fucking lunch, right? Stood there for a half fucking hour doing nothing. And then still got paid 8.5 hours. Wait a minute, I come here at 6, I get off at 3. Yeah, I don't get any breaks and I get paid this much? I was literally thinking about taking it to LNI. I was telling him, I was like, look, man, I fucking was feeling sick this morning, I think I kind of figured out why I was feeling sick, because I didn't want to go back to that fucking place. Like I said, I wasn't even able to go ahead and fucking put deodorant or anything like that on, man. I was just called straight up, oh, you got to be there. And that place takes 45 minutes to get to from where I stay at. Not counting the time I have to talk to Labor Works and get the fuck over there. Wound up going in there, dude kind of told me at the end of the fucking day, oh, no offense. And I'm like, well, you're going to say the most offensive shit. What, are you going to ask to fuck my wife? Are you going to fucking tell me I'm fucking stupid or something? Are you going to how are you going to fucking insult me, And I'm sitting there smelling myself like, man, I fucking reek. And then he comes out and fucking says exactly what I was just going to say. Oh, he goes, I think you should go home and take a shower. I go home every day and take a shower. I'm like, he's like, you're not offended, are you? I'm like, I kind of smell myself. I'm like, no. And I started thinking back all the different comments they were making to me, different little things, he was all telling that lady earlier that day, oh, it's his last day, it's his last day, it's his last day, it's his last day, right? And I'm like, what? And I'm like, I'm the only one back there fucking, putting his stuff on, putting on fucking screws and shit like that. And I'm like, why? I started getting mad, shit was fucking up. I was fucking getting pissed. I was like, man, I couldn't send stuff money. I was like, fuck, I'm a fucking retard, this and that. Started getting mad at myself, then remembering some of the arguments and shit. And I'm like, why am I trying to argue? What do you call it? And I'm just arguing with myself and shit in my fucking head. And I'm pretty sure I look crazy. But, I have to talk to you and remind myself. Oh, this. And, he gave me a list of TVs to fix. I fixed them. And then he told me, take all these TVs down and check every single one of them. I did. Did everything he said. He went and fucking explained it to me the whole fucking time, a second time. And right there is where I was like, oh, I'm the dumb native. I started seeing all the subtleties. I was like, you could be fucking ignorant and fucking racist while being nice. It's like, I found that out. It's like, and I'm sitting there looking at this dude I was like, I'm ignorant because I'm Native American, and I think differently because I'm Native American, okay? I was like, I'm also a veteran, so yeah, I really, really, really think differently. It's like, and how you word your words are how you go ahead and choose to talk to people. And dude was talking down to me. I felt like I was being talked to, like as if I was special or something. I was like, man, you're talking to me like how you're talking to the dude who's deaf. I was like, and you guys are like cracking jokes and laughing about it when he goes fucking walking away. When he can't see you guys, what are you calling shit? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, well, if you're doing that, I was like, the fuck you guys saying about me then? I'm like, I was like, I'm not gonna stay here and accept this shit. I was like, you know what? I was like, some of you dudes were cool. I was like, even the dude was telling him like, like, oh, get to know the guy, talk to him. You don't seem like a bad guy. And dude just kind of looked at me and went, fucking gave me like a mean mug, man. A young Mexican dude. And I was like, Mr. Carlos, I was like, what can I help you with, sir? And he's like, well, grab this thing here and then help this guy here. And then next thing I ended up checking TVs the rest of the fucking day. And I was like, okay, I don't mind it. But, being told down to and told, oh, well, what stuff's there? I put the power cords in. Dude went in and sat there and explained it to me like a second time. And I'm looking at him like, well, you didn't explain this to me the first time, and now you're explaining it to me the second time after I already figured it out and shit. You're treating me really, 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 really shitty. And then when he asked me that, he's like, well, I don't mean to be offensive, but, you kind of smell, you kind of reek. I'm like, I know this, and I started thinking about it. I was like, man, he just called me treated me like a smelly, dumb Native American. I was like, this guy fucking, was being racist. I was like, he wasn't showing me no respect whatsoever. And I even told him, when I was outside there trying to get a hold of my woman. I was like, hey, man, I was trying to get a hold of my woman. I thought she wasn't going to answer. Because he was asking me, like, why I was looking, so down. I told him, I was like, well, I was like, thought she wasn't going to answer. And then, she did. And, I was like, kind of made me happy, I was like, shit at home, I was like, and then he kind of goes, well, you're going to learn to balance out your work life and your personal life. You keep work life at work and you keep personal life at personal life. Okay, well, when you said that, I expected you to go ahead and be professional. I didn't expect you while I was checking the TVs and shit. And keep in mind, I kept on pulling my phone out to go ahead and check the time, right? Because I was like, well, okay, I'm getting this many TVs done. How many TVs am I going to get done, before 2? And I got about 18 of them done, and I was like, well, about 7, 8 of them didn't have fucking remotes. Dude never told me, oh, count the remotes or anything like that. Dude literally gave me no fucking instructions whatsoever, no tasks. And when he did give me tasks, after I completed them, he had no backup task for it. I'm like, dude, I understand if you're, what do you call it, but seriously, man, it's like you're trying to do everything. You're trying to do the dudes who you say, hey, load up your trucks and stuff like that. You're trying to fucking load their shit up. I mean, dude took a fucking thing there, threw a couch in between there when guy was telling him, hey, I'm putting stuff in between there. And dude's like, oh, you gotta maximize this. Oh, Tetris Master, this and that. And I'm like, sir, he was telling you he was putting stuff in there. I was like, you just do. And then they were sitting there talking shit about him, and I was just like, you know what? I was like, I don't blame you guys, man. I was like, that motherfucking dude was rude. Was rude. I was like, he had double standards. I was like, I told him, oh, I don't want to go back there. And then next thing you know, they started kind of guilt tripping me and stuff. Like, oh, well, it's the last day. And dude was like, I know Lionel. I was like, you didn't work for him. I was like, Mr. Eddie, you're no offense, you're white. I'm Native. Most of the workers that were there were, Mr. Eddie. Mr. Lionel, the dude who's in charge, his skin color are Mr. Carlos. And I'm sorry, but you can see I don't want to sound fucking racist. I'm like, oh, I'm the only Native working there. And when I was working there with some white dude, we got told to go pick up fucking carts and shit like that. I was like, I felt like I was being fucking undermined the entire time. I'm like, well, okay. I'm like, nah. And I told him, oh, I don't want to go there, No, they're messing me over and stuff. I was like, well, I ain't feeling too good. I still ain't. I'm like, what the fuck, man? I was like, oh, these guys literally made me feel fucking stupid, racist, and it felt like they were underutilizing my time. Even when I tried to save face with the dude, like I said earlier, 11 to 11:30. That's how long I stood there. I was like, man, I could take a fucking lunch, man. I was just standing there like this, just... Then I started looking around the warehouse at the things close by. I was like, oh, these are all the cleaning supplies. I went down the aisle here. Oh, here's all this shit here and stuff. Getting myself fucking familiarized with the fucking warehouse because I'm like, whoa, this is fucking crazy. You know, when I was sitting there putting together those fucking desks, he's like, oh yeah, this guy's last this. Just talking all sorts of shit, man. I'm like, who are you talking about? I'm the only person here, and you guys are like halfway down the thing there. I'm like, should I have just fucking moved the cart down there and fucking done it down there? I could have just went and stayed at the end of the thing there. And when I was even doing the TV checks and shit, dude was acting like as if I was just sitting back there dilly-dallying. Then he goes in there and goes, oh, that whole line. I just got to telling him how he's doing. I was like, I'm pulling all these out, sir, first, and I'm making the line and stacking them all in the back there and stacking all that. Well, moving these ones front to back on top of them. I was like, all these in the front are all the ones that aren't fucking used. And dude's like, oh, and then like he left, and when he came back and I had a whole fucking stack, he goes, you tested all those TVs? I'm like, sir, I was like, all those TVs right there, all are tested. And then when I went ahead and finished stacking the entire fucking thing, he goes, oh, all those TVs have remotes? I was like, yes, sir. I was like 15 of them do not have batteries. I said, and there's like over like 33 of them motherfuckers right there, okay? I was like, and they're 32 inches, and some of them are different fucking brands, but they're all the same brand. I checked every single one of them, HDMI, one, with the Hocus Pocus movie, and I'm like sitting there like, man, you're asking me, you're questioning my professionalism? I'm like, I just got done telling you I'm an ex-soldier and I've been fucked over all the time. People all fucking go and say, oh, he didn't hydrate, he's sweating like crazy. I sweat like crazy after working like 5-10 minutes. 15 minutes, at the max. I'm fucking pouring in sweat. It naturally happens to me. I'm just sweat a lot. And the surgeon they asked me the same thing. Why do you sweat a lot like that? I'm like, I've always been this way. And they're like, oh, you're a heat casualty. I'm like, am I falling? I'm like, I was sitting there, I was getting pissed, man. I was like, you know what? And I was at that Tacoma fucking demo job. I was like, I ain't a fucking heat casualty, you son of a bitch. Then they made me drink a thing of water in front of them. I went, oh, you want to see water, huh? I went, goo, 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 goo. And I'm like, watch, it's going to come back out in fucking a few minutes. I was like, water doesn't stay in my body. It just goes straight out. If you're fucking upset with it, well, maybe, you should consider the fact that I bust my ass hard doing a lot of shit. I'm moving at a faster pace than everybody else, and I ain't sitting there on my fucking phone lollygagging right in front of you, you fucking retards. So I'm like, man, I liked it better when I worked with Mr. Justin. I was like, that dude was cool. I was like, when he didn't have anything to do, all I do is be like, sir, instead of making me look bad, can I go outside and smoke a cigarette? I'd smoke one, use the bathroom, come back in, and, either he'd have something or he wouldn't have something, and he'd be like, oh, give me a few more minutes. So I'd go pick something up or go, start trying to clean and shit like that. You know what I mean? Make myself look useful and shit. I actually enjoyed doing that. Hell, even at terminal, even though they were fucking strict. They were like, oh, well, just put these boxes here like this, 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 then wrap it up. Wait for the pallet or the forklift to come in and lift up the pallet. Go back. Now go and grab another pallet. Put it down. Stack it up like this, stack it up like this, stack it up like this. It's fucking simple. Yeah, it might have been real strict, but it was fucking simple. You see what I'm saying? And I'm like, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, I like doing work. I like doing this shit, but you know what? You guys are fucking me over on this shit. It's like you're putting me with people who are undermining me and shit like that. I was like, these other people were cool. They were fucking cool. Other people were like, oh, this and that. I'm like, well, I didn't have a problem with them because I did the damn job. I didn't really fucking, what do you call it? I was like, places that are strict, well, I usually could get along with them because, they have a set fucking standard for shit. There's a way to do everything. They have to literally tell you in the beginning how it's fucking done. Places like this where old boy just started up at and has no fucking leadership skills and can't even delegate to his workers, but still undermine them, still fucking double standarding it, double tasking them and shit. I'm sorry, but I just don't like people like that. I'm like, and I sit there, he's like, oh, I found your house with this in Arizona. Okay, dude. Well, if you did that in Arizona, how come your people seem like they're not getting, like they're coordinated enough? How come you're not trusting these dudes to do their job? letting them do their job while you go ahead and do your job, sir. Which obviously is counting inventory and doing all this stuff here. Yet you're like, I don't know. It felt like he was making a replacement to where all he was just gonna do was just sit on his ass and be like, "Oh, go do this, go do this, go do this." And I'm like, dude, I don't want to be your fucking task monkey, okay? I want to go load shit and unload shit because that's where you make the money. All right, working at the warehouse, that's 8.5, no matter what. 6 to 2:30. I'm like, okay, I can deal with that. You know what I mean? He's like, I can deal with that, but I'm like, why? What's the point? Yeah. Well, anyways, sorry about bitching so much. Just stay down me out fire water. Wish you good luck.